Okay, my beautiful one-penners, this is your October directives recording, and let's just hope that this one sticks. Me and tech. Hey, it's okay. It's just a marker. Just go play the piano, Chris, and keep playing the piano. Let's get to it. October, your directives for October, they're pretty powerful. And I want you to really listen. The satchel piece that you have in your satchel for your sprint run, this 31-day sprint run through October, is the number 2. And because it is also the personal year you're moving into in January, it's like another shot at kind of getting comfy in a positive way, because there's so much supportive energy that makes up October, this 10 frequency. By the way, there's a video, go listen to it. It's about 15 minutes long, about what the 10 frequency terrain that we're all running through. Everybody on this planet is going through that frequency, what it represents. And it's not that these frequencies aren't there for us to tap into whenever we would consciously like to go and do that. It's that life is cyclical, and this planet and this universe is in constant motion. And this is what I love about the Oracle of Numerology, is that, and I'm a math geek, is that there's sense, there's common sense in math, and so there's things that we can rely on. And this 10 frequency, we definitely can rely on. So go ahead, listen to that. Basically, essentially, it's your personal year number backed by inspirational gifts that look like intuition. It looks like sensitivity, meaning you're feeling and you're feeling. Let's also, a very interesting conversation that I have with people, my students, is when they want to know the difference between the two. And it's really quite simple. Intuition, it comes from our sixth sense. Part of it sits in our heart, and part of it sits in our partnership with our mental field. And being able to kind of snapshot into a situation or a dynamic and understanding the reasons why. It's very much about somebody else's story. It can be about our story as well, but it's intuition, intuitively aware of the movements around us, okay? Seer, psychic, intuitive. It all sits up here for the most part. And then you have sensitivity. Sensitivity sits in the body, and the body is sensitive to the environment that it is a part of. And the body has emotional intelligence that is moving through it. It is intuitive in its own right. When we are sensitive, we feel other people's state of being, and that is called empathy. Sympathy is connected, I guess you could tuck it into. I'm so squirreling here. I could talk about this for a long time. The difference between intuition is, sympathetically, you can have a ton of compassion for somebody. When you have body sensitivity, you physically feel it, and it is really uncomfortable. And so you would say that would be empathy, that I'm experiencing this pain or this suffering. I'm also experiencing this joy and this inspiration, and I'm excited about what I'm feeling. So that's the difference between the two. Okay, for nutshelling it, this elevator speech a little bit longer. The other intuitive gifts that sit here are expression, speaking, and strength. Strength comes in two forms. It comes in an internal strength and also, believe it or not, an external strength, where there is you have a little bit more juice to physically do things. So you one pinners in a one frequency backed by these incredible intuitive gifts is the wind that you have at your back. All right, this is what you're moving through this month, and the way that you personally are going to successfully navigate this country, this strange land that isn't so strange to all of you guys because you've been living this, is with the number 2. And that is the number that's connected to communication and connection with other people. I call it the art of diplomacy. It's incredibly sensitive, body. And it has the capacity to know exactly what is needed in any conflict or discussion or conundrum situation that is looking for a path towards resolution. This doesn't, I don't care what part of your life that you plop this in, because we're in constant negotiation with people all day, every day. That's what we do, is we talk to people and we negotiate and we have asks that we are either outright coming out and saying, or it's implied, correct? The diplomat energy of 2 very casually and very calmly can see this and can feel it, whether it's a tension-filled moment or it's an innocent moment or it's a moment where somebody is asking to be helped but doesn't have the courage to ask. I can be a little aggressive too, and the 2 energy says, well, what can I do? Not what can't I do. What can I do? What is insinuated is what you can't do. 2 listens extraordinarily well, speaks less and listens more, and looks for that balance point between giving, connecting and giving, and placing down a boundary. And the boundary is the unspoken can't, all right? The giving is the spoken can. Somebody needs to write that down and send it to me. The boundary is the unspoken can't. So much of our conversation that we have with people leads with what I cannot do. This is what I can't do. This is what I can't stand. This is what I won't tolerate anymore. This is where I am done, right? Well, with 2, I have a 2 in my heart's desire number in my chart. And it's basically the big bang of your soul essence and joy point. It's the juice of what you're made up of. I am an intuitive on steroids. I am an empath, times 1,000,000,000. And my sensitivity level is off the charts. I have learned how to say what I can do and not speak what I can't do by only speaking what I can do, right? Try that out, you guys, because that produces a really healthy boundary. And the reason why you all need this healthy boundary, because I want you to get out there. I want you to say yes to offerings, to invitations, to ideas. The good news is that so many people are catching up to what you're doing that might not have understood what you launched. I know a lot of you. I talked to a lot of you. You launched cool things this year. Things that were connected to your unique expression of who you are. An aspect of it. And I think all of you were kind of surprised too, like, wow. And because you launched this unique aspect of who you are, it's actually producing fruit. Many people might not have, people that you love, might not have quite understood it. This is the month where they're going to show up and say, I got it. I got it. I'm here. I'm supportive of you. I'm all in. This is fantastic. And even if it's just that support from them that says, I'm all in, coffee time, it's coffee. Maybe that's all you need, is that knowingness that one of your beloveds is all in. Okay, so what I want you guys to think about is, what can you give, and then put that hard boundary down quietly in the background. That speaks volumes of, whatever ask somebody has, whether implied or, it takes courage to come out and say, I am asking you to do this. Will you do this for me? Our relationships and the way that we communicate it's kind of interesting. And each culture around the world has their own way of dancing around this idea of asks and expectations. Yeah. Each one does, and we're all unique and different in our communities in that way. So just have a think about that, and lead with what you can do, and stop saying what you can't do. That the art of diplomacy requires this awareness that there are certain things that are going to shut down the pipeline towards a solution and a resolution. And we as individuals, as people here on the planet, the power of the two is the power of the twins. We are here in community, and so that community starts with you and another person, right? Across the board of our lives, that's true. And then it expands out, and it multiplies and it multiplies. It's a beautiful math equation. So until we get to the collective whole of our beautiful world and our global community, which is our global family, and we are all connected. Take this out for a ride, commit to it every single day, and don't give up on this idea that leading with what you can do, is actually going to produce some pretty healthy, respected boundaries for you that are necessary. The antithesis of this is taking off, isolating yourself because you feel like a doormat and you're overly sensitized. You know exactly what everybody needs. You're feeling everybody's pain, everybody's demand, everybody's everything. And all you do is feel like you're just being walked on. Like who pays attention to the doormat that they wipe their feet on before they walk into the great meal in the other room? Nobody. Who thanks the doormat? Nobody. If you're resonating with that, you guys, back up. What can you give? Start thinking about, I'm going to say, you're going to have to, boundaries don't need to be ever spoken about. You don't need to feel shame around it. You don't need to feel defensive around it. You just simply need to try something new. What can you do? Somebody can ask the moon of you. What can you do? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to say? And what are you willing to speak? Remember, one of the gifts of the zero is expression. So get your emancipated self on. This is the tool in your satchel. And it's not going to be necessarily all that easy for you to execute and utilize. But if you consciously get in there, wake up every day, and you're committed to this, all right, what can I say yes to? And what do I absolutely know I can't? I won't. That never needs to be spoken. ever. Not if you lead with what you can do, okay? It's the biggest trick in this 2 frequency that is really going to net you across the board: business, relationships, career, success, prosperity, a billion miles ahead of where you're starting right now. All right? Okay. Questions, comments, you pop them right here in the YouTube feed. And hit that subscribe button. I always forget to say this, the like button. And you guys, you know where to find me if you need anything. It's over at 12listen.com. It's on my homepage right here. And hang in there and get the biggest bang for your beautiful buck as you move through October. This is a month of magic. This is a month of synchronistic events on steroids. Lean into it, be curious about it, show up every day, show up, and just lead with what you can do. It's going to serve you well. All right, you guys, and I'm here. I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders, as you know. I'm here. If you got a conundrum or a question, you can ask. All right, big love, guys. I will talk to you next month. It's an 11 month and there's a 12 month. We're in this magic sweet spot zone. Don't miss it. Bye, guys.